Shalom, giving all praise. Yahweh Shem El Shai Bashem Rakakwada. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. Anyway, I'm going to call this and give this video the title of Fornication. What does it mean? Okay, you have controversy with fornication. In Christianity, say fornication is to have sex before marriage. Sex with another woman, if she's a virgin, you don't have to be a virgin. That in the spirit world, that's considered a consummation of marriage. So you're married whether you got the paperwork or not. All right, I'm gonna say this in general. You men in GMS, you shouldn't be married. Get married. Don't go to the judge, to the mayor of the city or whatever, and get papers on a woman. You just deal with that woman because she's going to wind up moving on anyway. You're going to leave her because shit that she's not doing, whatever the case may be. But don't be like don't be like the guys at IUIC. They get married. Now I commend them if they get wives and they stay together. That's a good thing. I'm not knocking that. But there's a lot, guarantee there's a lot of at least some adultery going on in the IUIC. There's a lot of hanky-panky going on in the IUIC. You understand? So the best thing to do when you meet a woman, for you young brothers that are not experienced with women, they're all demons, okay? At the end of the day, look, I don't have the experience that Solomon had. I ain't have 1,000 women, but I had enough. I had enough women to find out at the end of the day, they're all a bunch of demons. All right? Even Solomon said that. Let me see if I can go find that. Let me see if I can find that. I hadn't gone to it in a long time. I know it's in Ecclesiastes. I'm almost positive it's the 7th chapter. I hadn't gone through this in decades. Let's see if I'm correct. Okay, I did find it. Ecclesiastes 7, verse 26. This is Solomon, Yahushai, and I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart or mind is snares and nets. When a woman says something, you got to psychoanalyze what she's saying, because women say things and don't mean what they say. They'll say something, but in their heart, they're thinking something else. Men normally say things and they mean it. If they're hungry, that means they're hungry. If they're tired, they want to go to sleep, that means they want to go to sleep. If they want to go for a jog, they go for a jog. Women say, well, I'm going to go for a jog, and she's going to meet some dude and get it in with that dude. So they're all demons, man. Amos 7, verse 17. I remember that by heart. Your wife shall be a harlot in the city. This is the city, Babylon the Great. So I deem them to be all hoes, unless they prove otherwise. But this is what the King Solomon said. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, traps, and her hands as bands, whoso pleaseth the Most High shall escape from her, get away from her. But the sinner shall be taken by her. The simp. Behold, this have I found, saith the preacher, counting one by one to find out the account. In other words, he had 1,000 women he dealt with, and he came to the conclusion that all of them are a bunch of demons, whether it be Israelites, heathens, which yet my soul seeketh. He said he dealt with 1,000 women. They were all a bunch of demons, and if he looks at another 1,000, they're gonna be demons too. But I find not one among one man among 1,000 have I found, which are righteous. But a woman among all, he had 1,000 women, those have I found not. Lo, this only have I found, that the Most High made man upright, and they have sought out many inventions. That's why the Most High gonna take this goddamn place out by fire. There's gonna be a lake of fire. So this is all you need about a woman. When you're dealing with a woman, apply the script, these verses right here. She can tell you, oh, love, I'm never lived with, I'm a virgin, this and that. I only had one guy, which means 100. All right, they're all a bunch of hoes. So don't be a simp and a dumbass and an idiot and get papers on a goddamn woman. And then if you can, pray that you don't have no children on this side with that woman. The Apostle Paul said, I wish that thou would be like unto me, meaning having no woman. And my UIC don't teach that. They'll say, well, where's your woman, brother? You know you got to have a woman. No, Paul didn't say that. Paul said he spoke about having a woman, but he said, I wish you could be like me. Okay, so let me see. I didn't set nothing up. I wanted to deal with the word fornication. Okay, so let me give you this video. Okay, I want you to watch this video. I'll put the link in the description box. This is Alec comments. The internet man reveals baby isn't his at cheating wife's baby shower. So you got to watch this video. It's a short video, not even 4 minutes long. And then you got the thumbnails. You know, these bitches are hoes, and these are the Latin tribes. You know, I tell you, if you're gonna get a woman, get one of the Latin tribes of Northern Kingdom. They're hoes too. All right, they're hoes too. And they like being hoes. This is why back in the medieval time when Jake was ruling, they had chastity belts for women. They locked the punani up. And see, if we applied the laws of the Most High that was given to Moses, you wouldn't have this problem, because there'd be a lot of dead women out there. But then again, it wouldn't, because a woman would be scared to death to mess around behind a man's back. See, back then you had alpha males. The Israelite men in the kingdom, they're all going to be alpha. If you're a beta on this side, you're going to be an alpha on the other side. And you know what? I'm going to give you a movie to watch. It came out maybe in the late 70s, early 80s. What was it called? Blue Collar. Starring Richard Pryor. What's this guy? This the Edomite looking guy. I can't remember his name. Harvey Keitel, if I'm saying his name right. And Yaphet Kotto. Now in the movie, Harvey Keitel had a wife, and Richard Pryor had a wife, but the Yaphet Kotto character didn't have a wife. He just pop when we get a hose, pop him, you know. And then you gotta watch. I don't want to give away the movie, but they do something. They deal with him a certain way, because they know he's not. He was an alpha male. You know, so he understood that all women are hoes. Okay, and that's a fact. And don't tell me your mama's a hoe, your mama's a hoe, your grandmama's a hoe. They're all hoes. All right, I'm not talking about a garden tool either. But watch this video. Watch this video. And you're going to see the hoe in the video have this surprised look like, what's going on? And the father's like, what's going on? He's talking about his daughter. Because he don't know that his daughter, you think that's my beautiful, righteous daughter. Nigga, you ain't got no righteous daughters, man. So let me. So watch this video, all right? So now, let's deal with the word fornication. You got IUIC. IUIC keeps coming up. I hate to bring their name up, you know. But they keep going off. All right, let me come back over here. I did a video. Matter of fact, let me bring that up real quick so you can know what I'm talking about. Bear with me for a minute. Let me open up another tab.
See Nicole.
Okay, bear with me for a minute. This is back to the basics. BTTB.
Shalom.
Okay. Okay, I did this video. You gotta watch. If you didn't watch this video, I see 739. There should be more people watching this video because there's a whole lot going on in this video. It's actually over an hour. But this is IUIC O'Reilly down south. And they're telling you that you can only have one woman. And they're going to certain scriptures that back up the one woman thing. And that is, you're going off if you have more than one wife. See, these guys in the IUIC, they're indoctrinated with that bullshit that Bishop Nate teaches them. So these guys are pretty much, they turn into, if they wasn't simps in the world, they simps now. Because if I'm at the One West, I had a woman, but I had women on the side too. And guess what? The leadership didn't know about it because it's none of their motherfucking business. Like we said as a kid, it's none of your beeswax. You think I'm going to tell the leadership that I got 3 women? That's none of your and if they ask me, I'm going to say it's none of your motherfucking business whether I got 1 woman, 5 women, or no woman. It ain't none of your goddamn business. And that's what an alpha male would say. I do have 2 women. Oh, brother, you got to get rid of one of them. Okay, shalom, sir. Most High in Christ bless. There are a bunch of simps up in there, man. And I hate to get on them. I always get up saying, please, Lord, don't let me get on IUIC. But then they do something stupid, and I got to get on them, man. Now, this guy, which I believe he's a simp. I know you watching, nigga. Deacon Nathan, I don't believe you dealt with a woman that was married to another man. I believe you stepped out on your woman with a chick that didn't have a man. And then you said that was called that ain't adultery, bro. Okay? King Solomon was not committing adultery. King David did not commit adultery. Well, he committed one time and he paid dearly for it, man. Most I didn't jack him up for all the other women that he had. So now let's do this. So watch this video. More of you, this should be over 1,000. Because there's a lot of information in this video. And I believe Apostle, matter of fact, I'm sure Apostle Gabar did a response to this video, and so did Apostle Ramlab. This is back to the basics, baby. BTTBB. Back to the basics, baby. So now let's come back over here. Okay, so now let's look up the word fornication. Put in the word fornication. It comes up 36 times in 32 verses. It's in the New Testament, believe it or not, in 4 verses. Oh, let me read this one. Popped in my head. 29, I'm going to go to 26. Ezekiel 16, verse 26. Thou has also committed fornication with the Egyptians. Now, we know that there's a spiritual fornication. You have Israelites that are following Kemetic, Moors, Baptists, Methodists, whatever, atheists. That's spiritual fornication, which is a spiritual adultery. It says, thou shalt moreover multiply. Thou hast moreover multiplied thy fornication in the land of Canaan unto Chaldea, and yet thou was not satisfied herewith. That's spiritual fornication. If you don't know you're Israelite and you're following some other god, that's fornication. So you're all going to die. That's adultery. And your husband is the Most High Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Your husband is actually Yahweh Shai. So he's not coming for the adulterers of our people. He's coming for the ones that are of the elect. So now, Matthew, in the New Testament, Matthew 5, verse 32, but I say unto you that whosoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication, we're going to look up the word fornication, causes her to commit adultery. When you break off from your wife, she's gonna recover. She's gonna get with another dude. That makes her an adulterer. But it says the only way you can cut her off is if she's caught in the act of fornication. What does fornication mean? It means adultery. The Lord said, look, you can't cut off your woman. The only way you can cut your woman off if she's an adulterer. And then when she moves on as an adulterer, then she commits adultery again. It says, causes her to commit adultery, and whosoever shall marry her, meaning a man that steps in, that is divorce, she's divorced, committeth adultery. Now people break this down and say that means that if a man, matter of fact, I'm gonna do this. Let me do it this way. This is why you knuckleheads are in the church. And everybody that's in the church, you Christians out there, you're all, and if you're in America, you're all going to feel that fire. But you're going to come back in the kingdom. Waiting for this to load up. But I say unto you that whosoever shall his wife, saving for the cause of fornication or adultery, causes her to commit adultery. Another man, she's an adulterer. And whoso shall marry her, that is divorced, committeth adultery. If there's another man that come along and lay with her, and you put her away outside of the cause of fornication, you say, I don't want to deal with this woman no more. You cause her to commit adultery. So now let's see what it means. Let me go to Cambridge, so it's normally short. Okay. Cause her to commit adultery by adopting a slightly different reading in the original with Lechman, Tischendorf, and they didn't even say you nothing when she had been divorced. What the hell? They ain't even say nothing, man. Okay, causes her to commit adultery. Revised version maketh her an adulteress, since the right reading connotes being sinned against rather than sinning. And whosoever shall marry her. Let's see what that says. And whosoever shall marry her. By Westcott. Give me all this bullshit. Ceases of murder mission. See, this is some BS, man. But we do know they do say it's an adultery. So the man that marries her after the fact, he causes her to commit adultery. So you're not to you're not to put your wife away for any cause except for adultery. Because if you do that, you causing her to commit adultery. Let me see. Okay, let me open this up. Let me open this up. Okay. Let me see. Matthew 19, verse 8. He saith unto Moses, because of the, let's go back. They say unto him, why did Moses then commit a command to give a writing of divorcement and to put her away? Meaning, if she hasn't committed adultery. The Lord said, you could divorce your woman if she's an adulterer. Meanwhile, if that man has more than one woman, he's not committing adultery unless he deals with a woman that had another man. He saith unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of their hearts, suffered you to put away your wives, but from the beginning it was not so. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for, the word there is adultery, we're going to look it up, and shall marry another, committeth adultery. And whoso marrieth her, or the man that comes in, steps in, which is put away, she's put away, doeth commit adultery. So you just can't say, I'm tired of you, I don't want to deal with you no more, I'm giving you a bill of divorcement. You causing her to commit adultery. His disciples saying to him, if the case of the man be so with the wife, it is not good to marry. So they understood that these women are hoes. They're going to commit adultery. But he said unto them, all men cannot receive this saying, save they to whom it is given. Then it goes into the eunuchs. Paul was a eunuch, but he didn't chop his rod off. He didn't get with women in his ministry, because look at what he was doing, all the stuff that Most High put a spirit on him not to desire women at that time. And Paul said, I wish you would be all like me. So there should be more men in the IUIC that should be like Paul. They don't teach that. They'll talk behind your back. This nigga ain't got no woman. Something wrong with this nigga. Well, was something wrong with Yahweh Shai? Was something wrong with the Apostle Paul? Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai put a heavy spirit on the Apostle Paul. Okay, so now let's come on back to fornication. Let's look up the word fornication and let's see what it means. You go ahead and follow all them other Israelite groups and get confused. And don't come running to us. You go to the Israelite group and you get disenchanted, then you damn all the Israelite groups. They're all wicked. They all no. It's the group that you was involved in because you saw big numbers. And the focus is on the men anyway. The only ones that should be in this truth is the men. Now, women could be in the truth too, but at a distance. You can come watch the videos, say Shalom, great video, whatever. Or not. Whosoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of adultery. Now let's look up the word adultery. Porneia. Illicit sexual intercourse, whatever the hell that means. The word there, it should only be one word, adultery. Adultery. Fornication, which is adultery. This has nothing to do with adultery. This has nothing to do with it. That two women get together and the one woman mess around the other woman back. That's not adultery. That's not adultery. Intercourse with animals is bestiality. Close relatives, sexual intercourse with divorced man or woman. Oh, wait a minute. Sexual intercourse with a divorced man or woman. If the man is divorced and he has a woman that he gets with after the divorce that's not married, that's not divorce on the case of the man. It's only divorce on the case of a woman. until that man dies. Romans chapter 7, verse 1. Metaphorically, the worship of idols or religions, of the defilement of idolatry. Right, this is spiritual fornication, as incurred by eating the sacrifices offered to idols. Now we all eat things that were sacrificed in the idols. Anywhere you go in America, you buy some food, you go to the supermarket, all the animals that you eat, they prayed over that animal. You got the Arabs halal meat and the Elamites, they got the Indian food and so forth. The cattle, for example, chickens that come from Middle America and also from other countries. So these farmers, they pray that they get a good, that their animals don't die, that they get sick, that the cow has many babies and they're all healthy and so forth. So they pray. Everybody prays to their God. In America, you pray to sweet Jesus, which is Caesar Borgia. But what you do is, and the Apostle Paul said that. What does it say? Shambles. Shambles. Hope I spelled it right. I believe I did. Okay, this is what I wanted, the right verse. You can read a couple of verses above and below. Whatsoever is sold in the shambles that eat, asking no questions for consciousness' sake. Don't ask, what God is this animal? What God did you pray over for this animal? He said, just eat it. Just pray over it and eat it. But if you know that it was prayed, and like I said, we have no choice. Let me look up the word shambles. A shambles is a meat market. They called it, when we were a kid, they called it the butcher. The butcher shop. I remember when they had supermarkets. They had the butcher. You got your milk by the milkman. You come along with a white truck. You put it in a metal box chained to your door. You take the old bottles, go off the milk would come right off the farm. Then you had the bakery. You had a place where you get your chickens and your eggs. Then you had a place where you get your meats. That was a butcher. So what the supermarket concept was to take all these things and put it under one roof. See, I remember that. Okay, let me see. Okay, the word here, I'll let you hear it.
Strong's G 3111. Makilan.
Makilan. A place where meat and other articles of food are sold. Meat market. It's actually a meat market. Of Latin origins. Macellum. It was a butcher shop. So your modern day shambles would be your supermarket. You go to the place where you got the butcher in the back. Now they got the meats packaged. You don't got butchers like you had back in the day. All right? So the word is, go back to the word fornication. Bear with me for a minute. Fornication, go one more back. Fornication simply means adultery. The act of adultery happens when you have a woman, that's your woman, she's clean, she's not been touched by another man, and that's the only way you can get a woman. If I don't know how they do it in the IUIC, if any man in the IUIC met a woman in the IUIC and she had a man or more than one man in her previous life, guess what? That's adultery, bro. That's adultery. You have to get a woman that has not been touched by a man. And back then they were young. They were 12, 13 years old normally. Mary doesn't tell you the age, but scholars will tell you that Mary was probably 12, 13 years old. And Joseph couldn't wait. Now they don't tell you, but it's my theory. It's in the ancient world, when you had people, strangers coming to you, large strangers, they wouldn't come into your house. They would come into the house for strangers. Like rich people, they got that. They'll have a house, but they'll have a separate house for people that are visitors. And you say, well, that's your house. And they'll have food for you and all that, man. But there was no way to go to that company house, stranger's house, or whatever that they stayed in. And you would have to leave that door and you would have to go to the main house and knock on the door to be let in. There was no way you can get into the big house, like called the big house from the small house. So my theory is that she was probably 12 and the father said, well, wait till she's 13. Or she's probably 13, wait till she's 14. And Joseph had her in the house, made sure she fed, and she was looking. Look, Yahushai's mom was a beautiful woman, all right. And Joseph was up in age, whether he was in his 30s or 40s, which now they frown upon that. This woman's 20 and you 45. You used to be ashamed of yourself. Shamed of yourself based upon what? Huh? You've been in captivity so fucking long, you don't know which way is up. So what happened was he kind of snuck in there and hit it. Now whether she was trying to stop him or not, well, I say he actually graped her. He graped her. Whether he forced herself on her, or whether she was with it, he tried to hide her, put her away privately, meaning hide her, because her stomach would start showing, because he was guilty of statutory rape, because he didn't honor Heli, the father of Mary. See, people don't go into that, man. That's why these knuckleheads say that, oh, let your woman have a baby, you do a DNA test, it ain't your fucking son. And she said, well, the Holy Spirit hit me. You gonna believe that bullshit? But a simp would. And Joseph was not a simp. That's a topic right there for you, Apostle Gabar. Joseph was not a simp. All right? Because the angel came. She didn't say, well, Joseph, it was the spirit that came on me and I'm pregnant. No, the angel said, look, that child, meaning that you put in the seed, and it was meant to go down that way. Anyway, I hope y'all got the understanding. And IUIC, you should watch this video so you can learn. Shalom.